Just as he was about to speak, the co-pilot reminded him to check the radar. It showed 2 fighter jets alongside them. Perry shuddered and asked the general. Wilson urged Perry to think big, but Perry found it nonsense. He asked Dr. Martin about solid evidence for the theory, if none had landed in the desert. Wilson replied coldly the F-16 would shoot down D-908 first. Perry told the general kids on his plane waved at the jets. He doubted the pilot's heartlessness. Wilson said, "You can try." Perry angrily hung up after hearing that. He tried to radio the nearby fighter jet to inform the pilot that his plane had nearly 300 passengers aboard, including a few precious kiddos. He had to land and pleaded the other side not to fire, because he had a daughter waiting for him to come home. He wanted to keep his promise, so Perry waited for a full minute, but there was no response from the fighter jets. It was already 9:20, with only 1 minute left before the crash. Perry, in his role as captain, made an emergency broadcast to the passengers, planning to land blindly in the desert. After the announcement, he called his daughter's number, and young until the ring voice came through the line asking if Daddy was still flying. Perry said, "Hey, the mosquitoes are still around. Are we ready to belt out some songs together?" Little and told the ring quickly responded, "Ready, Daddy. I love you." She reminded him, "I just called out to you to say, I love you. And what's more, New Year is just about to arrive." Little A circumflex Thorn watched the Los Angeles skyline and see LLED turned M, asking why she didn't show up. Turned M complained. If only Little A circumflex Thorn paid more attention to work, we wouldn't be stuck in this long-distance mess. I should be there. I can hear someone. Oh no, I hear someone over there. Wait, what? The signal seems all messed up. When she got through again, Turned M said it sounded like someone was standing in the yard. Cyrillica circumflex Thorn reply, probably a neighbor or the mailman. Turned M said she would peek out the window and call back in a bit. Just after hanging up, Sayo Liu received a call from Sayo Na. She asked, "Did you mention the divorce to Sasha?" Little Liu planned to mention it in person, but since Sasha stood him up, he told Sayo Na, "Just spoke to Sasha." Before speaking, Sasha blurted about a mysterious figure in the yard. Little Na scoffed, she's the queen playing the victim. As she finished speaking, Little Liu got a strange call, greeted Sayo Na, and answered. "Hello there, who might this be speaking?" "It's me, you dunce." It was Ilona's prank. She babysat her sister's kid till she returned. Little A circumflex Thorn replied, "I've had a long day, in beat." Cyrillica Multigraph said, "No big deal." She had tricks up her sleeve to keep Little A circumflex Thorn awake. Meanwhile, Turned M dialed 900. The dispatcher asked what was wrong. Sasha said she saw someone in the yard, standing for a long time. It was dark and raining. She couldn't see the person's face, and the dispatcher told her to stay calm, help was on the way. Then Turned M suddenly screamed, "That person's arm looks a bit off." The dispatcher calmed her down and asked if the person was white or black. Turned M responded, "That thing doesn't look human." She said the thing was approaching her. An hour later, Little A circumflex Thorn was on the phone with Cyrillica Multigraph, who said her sister was delayed. He paused and said, "Don't jump like that." Little A Multigraph asked what was wrong. Lowering his voice, Cyrillica circumflex Thorn asked, "Which band do you like best?" "I love Cool Dudes." "Well, Shanu never lip syncs." Little Leo fell silent for a moment and said, "If you're Cyrillica Multigraph, then who's the person lying in front of you?" Cyrillica Multigraph didn't catch that, but Little A circumflex Thorn, "I have a unique friend on my bed at the moment. We have just finished playing chess, and I'm gazing at their exposed back. I had initially thought it was Iona." Little Not told Little Leo to stop. His voice trembled, "I'm not." Moments later, a New York officer called, asking about Turned M. The dispatcher said her signal was at home. Meanwhile, in LA, Little Leo called 911, saying she was at a pharmacy and someone broke in. The New York officer barged in. The place was pitch black, smelling of burnt toast. With the dim flashlight, she saw a woman sprawled in the snow. Convulsing on the floor, Leo in LA told the dispatcher the intruder resembled a friend she was talking to. The dispatcher asked Sayo Leo if she was high. She said, in sober. "Can't explain." Just then, the woman looked like a burning chili pepper. Her face and arms were melting for no reason. The NY officer called for backup. reporting that the woman inside had been attacked and was covered in claw marks. Meanwhile, little A Circumflex Thorn called Cyrillic S.A. Grov, but before she could start talking, she heard Cyrillic S.A. Grov exclaim, "Little A Circumflex Thorn was taken aback. Wasn't that baby just 6 months old? How could they vanish like that?" The NY officer urged HQ for an ambulance. The woman seemed dying, but the dispatcher replied, "This is nuts. We've just received hundreds of calls of people reporting being attacked, and the hospitals are about to burst." Abandoning all logic and walking in the street. As soon as the call ended, little A Circumflex Thorn got another call. NY officer said, Tundem is fading fast and wants to speak with you." Little A Circumflex Thorn was about to lose it. She screamed in desperation, "What on earth is happening?" Tundem, sounding feeble, asked little A Circumflex Thorn, "Why did you leave me home alone?" Before little A Circumflex Thorn could respond, static crackled on the phone line, and seconds later, "I think there's an earthquake in LA. Tundem cried. "There's one in New York too. I feel like I'm floating away."